So, Kiddominant, my brother, how are you, bro?
Chilling. How's it going over there?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. A lot of things have semi come back to normal. Lockdown has lifted in a lot of places. Apparently, I've been hearing that the gyms and theaters and music venues are to be the next thing that's lifted in the next like week or so.
Yo.
Yeah, man. So things are picking up on our side, man. Like, is it so? Have I pronounced your name right? Kiddominant.
Yeah, kid dominant. Right.
Predominant,
That's
right?
where
Because I've been stressing about it for the past 2 days in trying to get the name right, in thinking if I pronounced it right. Because I don't know if people said any variations with your name, so I just wanted to make sure, like from the get go, we're on the same page for that.
you're right. Kid dominant. That's the word. Kid
Yeah,
dominant.
man. Yeah, man. So, first of all, I gotta say, happy birthday in a few days, because I've been seeing it's your birthday on the 13th, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
13th of July.
All right.
Cancer gang.
Yeah, Cancer Gang, man. Do you know what? One of my best friends is a cancer as well, man.
Very
Cancer Gang all day long, man. Yeah, man. Have you got any plans to celebrate for your birthday, man? Like, are you just gonna be working, or are you gonna turn up? Like, what have you got planned, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn up. We're gonna have a crew full of bitches and shit. Gonna be a crew full of bitches.
Rama.
Liquor. Yeah, massive turn up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got like all the drinks
Yeah.
there and all that sort of stuff, or all the honeys there, all the man them, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
You know the vibes.
Yeah, man. I see the speaking of honeys, man. Like I saw on your Twitter. I just want to go straight into it. Like the other day, I saw that there was a video of a real fine thing, man, that was twerking. She had short hair, like light
Oh
skin.
yeah.
Yeah, and you said that you were looking for her.
The crazy shit is that I found her.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
found
gonna.
after that tweet, I just saw like 10 people tagged her, and it was like 5 minutes after I tweeted that.
Yeah,
Apparently, she's like a popular OnlyFans.
yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, cause I,
Chicks.
cause I, cause I saw you. Yeah, I saw you were saying that you were looking for her, and then turns out that her name was Miss Sapphire. And I thought,
Yeah.
let me just have a look at her because I wanted to go a step ahead of you to see if I can try and get in there first. Obviously, she already found you.
Yeah.
And then when I went on her page, I'm like, yo, listen. I'm like, listen, yeah, she knows what she's doing. That's all I can say because it's YouTube, yeah. But she knows what she's doing, bro.
Yeah.
Were you? Are you
That's what I
still?
said I was looking for. Because when I saw that, I was like, whoever she is, she knows what she's doing. She knows this thing.
So, are you still pursuing it then?
No, I already told her. I hit her up. I said, yo, I want you to be in the video. So you better pull up. And
Rah.
she lives in LA too. That's crazy.
Okay. So you're not too far around the corner. So then she can show you what she knows.
Bro,
Oh boy, man. But
I'm not gonna tell you about that.
so how's lockdown been treating you, man? Because I know, like, it's been mad for the past 3 months, man. But like, how has it treated you personally, man?
Yeah, I've just been indoors, trying to stay safe, trying to avoid any stories that touch. I've been trying to, create music. I've been beating people on FIFA. If you're on FIFA, you can come get some of the smoke. I've been beating people on FIFA on Formula One.
Are you a FIFA?
I've been working a lot. I've been working a lot because like 80% of my day I'm in the studio, cooking up and
Mm,
creating more music. And,
yeah.
lockdown is crazy. You know, a lot of people kind of like found other aspects to themselves with this whole lockdown situation. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm included when it comes to that because I took that and I started getting more active on my social media with like Instagram and all of that. And it actually really helped me. I got 200,000 new followers from that.
Wow. Amazing, man.
So,
And obviously with the IG lives that I've been seeing,
Yeah.
When you know, promoting eWallet, which we'll go to in a little while. But I've seen a lot of your IG lives. You've got a lot nice girls in there, you know what I mean? Showing with the twerking and the dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, one of those IG lives, I saw your boy's face and it was hilarious. Like literally, his reaction to it was just like,
Bro. Nah, I IG lives are wild, bro.
yeah,
It's crazy.
man.
The crazy part of this is not even what happens on live. It's after we end the live, my
Mm,
DMs is a mess, bro. It's
mm.
a whole mess. It's
How many
groups and groups.
how many DMs do you roughly get? Is it like the in the tens and the hundreds?
After an IG live, I should, if I'm going to like estimate, I should have nothing less than
Yeah.
300 to 400 new DMs
Wow. Listen,
after each IG.
and
Crazy.
I don't even get one DM, and half the time it's just from one of my best mates. But you get like 300 to 400 DMs. I could like, I'm
Bro,
just lucky to have
crazy.
that one, so I don't have to like, you know what I mean, respond to bare people. But it must be it must be a madness. Like, do you respond to like people in your DMs?
Yeah, of course.
Mm,
If if especially if it's someone I know, you know what I'm saying. I just, but it's a lot of DMs I just scroll through if I don't
yeah.
know who the person is.
Yeah, no, I hear that, man. I want to take it back for our audience just to get to know
Yeah,
you. So you were born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria.
that's giddy.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And so, what? Tell us, what was it like? Firstly, growing up, in Nigeria, and obviously before you got into music, like, what was your childhood like growing up? Like, kind of what led you into music later on in school. Like, what was it? How was it for you?
Yeah, so growing up, I picked art as in painting and drawing very early. Like when I remember when I was like, I can remember as early as 4 years old, I was like painting and drawing a lot. And when I grew older, I used to see my dad. My dad loves music, so he had like Sade vinyls, and he had them Fela Kuti, Bob Marley, and all that. He used to play all that, and he used to play instruments. I actually used to play instruments. Then we had a section of my house where it was just musical instruments. It was drums, it was guitars, keyboard, and all that. And his friends would come over weekends. They would sit down, and his friends were like, they could play some instruments, so they would all just be vibing and jamming and all that. And I used to just watch that. I'm like, wow, I want to learn this thing. I want to learn this thing. And I picked up the piano. I remember right after they're done, I'll just go to the piano, and I was like 6 years old. I'll go to piano, and then I'll be trying to play something on piano. You know,
Mm,
that was how my love for music actually started. And then,
mm,
as I grew older, I built, all the art and music part of me very well. And,
mm.
you know,
Because you were mentioning
after that,
about like Fela Kuti. I
yeah,
hear some of your inspirations were Timbaland, Sadie Adu, Polo the
yeah,
Don.
yeah.
How did they come into play in terms of like listening to music over time before leading into music?
Um, I think subconsciously, the kind of music you listen to, or the type of music you consume kind of like molds your sound. You feel me? So, and that's what happened with me.
Mm,
You know, I listen to all these people you named, and you know, I find out that when I make music, it kind of like it connects to that choice of music, that choice of sound. You know, their approach or the direction when they create music. It's like that. So it's a big influence for me.
mm. And of course, like you started DJing at the age of 14, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So
So I
what?
started DJing when I was 14, right?
Mm,
My my granddad has a very big family. He had 12 wives, right? So I have a lot of uncles and aunties and all of that. So every Christmas we have this big family party, and
mm,
uh, and when I was 14, I remember clearly I was 14, and I said I wanted to DJ for that party, and then that was when my DJ career started. So I
mm,
started DJing from that party, and then I was like, yo, I really want to do this. So when I went back to school, I was in high school. I started DJing for like the school parties and all the
mm.
stuff. When I got into college, I took it more seriously, and you know, I took it very, very serious, and I used to like get paid. I started getting paid to DJ in college. And
Oh
you know,
wow.
I started a career, and I'm like, wow, okay, so I can actually be making some cool. Really serious. That I used to DJ a lot on campus, and my school was a church owned school, right?
Right.
And they never used to allow us to play. You know, they call it secular music because it's worldly. It's not godly music. You feel
Mm.
me?
Yeah.
So if I was the one DJ that was like, fuck that shit. I'm playing anything. So everybody liked me for that. I used to get a lot of gigs. I used to get a lot of great. All the girls wanted to kiddo kiddo all that shit. You know. And then I had my first hit song as a producer while I was in school
Oh
DJing.
wow.
I started, yeah. So it was a lot. So when I had that song, I was like, wow, this is actually going for real.
So
You feel me? So
how
I
old were
started,
you when you had your first hit single in school then?
I was like 19, 18, 19. Yeah.
Wow. I think when I was 19, I was literally with my ex-girlfriend at the time and at university at the time, and I think these times the only thing that was achieved that yes, I did get my degree, but I also broke up with my ex-girlfriend that same year. Whereas with you, I mean, you produced your hit single, so so there's a big distinction, man.
Yeah. So I was just trying to find it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just following my passion and
Mm.
creating music, and all of that. And eventually, I'm grateful everything just turned out to be good.
So when you were DJing, you've been DJing for a couple of years. When did you get to
Yeah.
the point of transitioning from DJing into producing? When was that? When did that come to play?
So that would be like my first year in college when I had a I had a group, a rap group, right? And before I had a rap group, actually, I wanted to make music. I discovered it was more than just DJing for me. I really, I have a lot of music inside of me that I needed to, share and let out. So I was like, okay, I want to make music, but I need beats, right?
Mm,
So I was like, okay, let me make beats. Let me try and make beats for myself.
mm.
You feel
What
me? So
programs were you using these times?
yeah, it's Fruit Loops.
Everyone
Prior to
uses
that, right?
it's either Logic or Fruity Loops. I always hear with that.
Yeah, no. Even before I got into college, right? I already knew about Fruit Loops from
Right.
from high school. Yeah, my friend of my friends from I had a best friend from London,
Nice.
right? He was in Nigeria. He moved back to Nigeria, and then we had a group in high school, and we used to sing and rap. And then he introduced me to this to Fruity Loops. That was like the first Fruity Loops, fired up Fruity Loops. And I found it. I started, on holidays, I would just play around with it.
Mm,
So when it was time to actually start making music for myself, I was like, okay, I need to make beats for myself.
mm,
And I started messing around with Fruity Loops a lot, and I realized that I would spend the whole day right in front of the computer, just making beats, and I wouldn't feel I've been in front of the computer for the whole day. Do you get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's just that's like passion. That's real raw passion.
Yeah.
So I just did that over time. I perfected my craft. Learned more from DJing. I realized what people really wanted to hear and what makes them
Mm,
react to what you feel me. That kind of like designed that part of me as being a producer. So a lot of stage reaction. Like you have to just study people's reaction and how you can activate some certain moods. You
mm.
feel me? How to make people calm, how to make people go crazy when they hear certain sounds. And I had to just learn that. And I'm 100% self-taught. So it took me a while. All of my library times in college, I was online googling compression, EQing, and how to make a beat.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
everyone has
grabbing,
done that. Even when I first started
yeah,
video editing, like all those years ago, YouTube was the
yeah,
center house for everything to teach. Not even
exactly.
university
So
taught me any of this. So I literally just gone on
yeah,
YouTube, and that's how I got to this.
YouTube University. Yeah, we all graduated. We graduates of the
Yeah,
YouTube.
I think at this stage the whole world would be graduates of the YouTube University, like especially now at this current
Yeah.
climate.
Yeah, and for me being in Africa, it was at that time people were not really a lot of people didn't have access to the internet like the way it is right now. People were not even having like smartphones and that. So it
Mm.
was like it was just different for me at that time. So I really put in a lot of work, personally to really teach myself to build myself to become the producer that I am.
Mm. So,
So yeah,
so obviously, what I'm gathering is that from the DJing era where you were doing that, and you were picking up a lot of what people were being receptive to, what sounds they were feeling, what reactions you were getting from them. In turn, what led you to production, and then when you started making beats, you had that instinct from what you've heard from the audience, and then thought, let me just apply that to my craft in production. So I'm
yeah,
assuming that's how you got to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just that built a lot of what made me a producer. The
Mm.
fact that I really wanted to satisfy the audience. I really want people to be happy when they hear my song, when they want them to go crazy.
So when you got to so obviously production now, and you producing for many high profile artists, which we'll go to in a minute. But
Yeah.
when were you confident in having like people come to you to to get beats and productions for their projects? Like when did you get to that stage?
It actually started with my friends, and I always tell producers this, like new producers, don't just think you wake up one day and you're just gonna produce for a big artist. You have to start with the guys around you. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I remember my friends when I was a kid. My friends used to just come to my house. They would come to my house. We'll make songs, and then they'll go. And then after a while, they started bringing their friends to come pay me for beats. You
Ah,
understand what I'm saying? So they pay
okay.
me for beats. I get a real cut for bringing for bringing someone, and then that's how the business started. So and it was very. I used to charge like I remember I used to charge like 10,000. That's like how much 10,000? That's like $50.
Not bad.
Am
Not
I
bad
right?
for a
That's,
side hustle.
I used to charge like $50 for a beat then. so,
So you must have been making a
so
lot of beats then, you know what I mean, and having like a steady amount of cash flow to maintain and keep going, man. So that
yeah,
it's a good thing
I
to
was
start off.
making. Yeah, so I started that, and then after a while, he actually it was very organic. It wasn't like wasn't anything.
So you were talking about like having your friends be part of production, and then you led into Arezi, like so you were talking about him.
Yeah, so I met already, and then we made songs. We made the song that actually really started my career as a producer, for real,
Mm.
and that was Rihanna. So that song went really big, got nominated for the Channel O Awards for the best reggae dancehall song in the whole of Africa. And I was my first year in college. It was just happening. I was like, yo, how have a song that's this big? That's crazy. And then I started going to clubs and I'll be hearing my song, my name. I was like, yo, and I started doing more. That kind of like motivated me to start making more music.
So
People
how
fuck
did
with.
how did you get to working with Arezi, and then all of a sudden you're working with Rihanna, like all of a sudden, like how did that connection come about to lead you to her?
No, no, no. The title of the song is Rihanna. I have not actually
Oh,
named
okay, sorry, okay, my bad. Like, because I was thinking, like, okay, yeah, like you got her like there early, like as well, like okay, okay, yeah. So
it.
yeah, sorry, the tune with Arezi was Rihanna. Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. So obviously with Arezi, you got to then work with guys like Mr. Easy, Mayorkun, even Chris Brown, Summer Walker, like, and obviously Davido. We'll talk about him in a little while as well. But I wanted to touch on Beyonce. That
yeah,
is interesting, like because apparently it was her unofficial album B7. Apparently, it was leaked in 2018 on Spotify.
yeah,
Um, and was a track called Nefertiti, and that featured
yeah,
Rihanna, right?
yeah.
So how did that connection come with you working with Beyonce, man? Because that's amazing in itself.
So I was in Dubai. I was about to jump on a flight to Lagos, right? And no, to Kenya. I was about to jump on a flight to Kenya, and then I got my call from Mike Will that asked you, well, when am I going to be back in the States? Blah, blah, we got to work. And then, I was like, okay, I'll be quick. And then I went to Kenya for like a day, and then I went back to the States and straight to the studio. Then we started working on a couple of joints, and like, you know, 2 months later down the line, I was just sitting and I just saw the news, the leak and everything. People trying to give me on the internet. I was like, yo, you know what
You're
I'm saying?
thinking, what is going on here, bro?
I was like, oh, this is quick. And it just happened that right now I don't know if the record is gonna drop or when it's gonna drop or whatever, but it was just
Oh, so this is
the
not dropped
track.
at all yet.
No, it hasn't.
Ah,
So
okay.
it just leaked. I think because the track list had leaked, probably gonna like rename it or whatever.
Hmm. So, did you ever have you ever got a chance to meet Beyonce yet?
Um, I met her once in South Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, boy, it was like a really brief. It was not like sit like a studio working type of. I would just say hi, shook hands and all that. So
Did
that
did
was
did,
like last.
did she recognize who you were, or was it just like a nice, like mutual
You
hello?
don't even know who I am. I'm a fan.
It's like I'm just a cool guy here. It's a nice pleasure to meet you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what I mean, you're lucky to even have worked with the likes of Beyonce, knowing that even though like it wasn't official in terms of that sort of way, but to even have that conversation like that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
man. And Davido, are you part of his official production team then? Are you in his clique directly? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, I'm independent. I've always been independent.
Right.
But David and DMW is family for life. We build this whole thing together. So it's like when they need sounds, when they need help with the music, direction and all that. I'm the guy that
When did you first meet Davido? Like, how did the connection come?
um it, it happened through an artist called Danago who was signed to David. His
Right.
name's Danago.
Okay.
Yeah, so he hit me up while I was in Nigeria. I was like, "Yo, bro, let's work." Blah, blah. All right, cool. I'll pull up on you and we'll create music. And then while we're making music, I just saw Davey just walked in. I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, this is Kiddo. He made Rihanna, the song Rihanna. Oh, they were like, yo, my God, I love that song and blah blah blah. And then that's how it started. And then we started recording, making music. And me and David didn't drop anything till like 2 years after we met. That was the first time we actually dropped an official song.
Okay. So it took a couple of years for like music projects to even like kind of go ahead. You were just like making
Yeah.
connections first.
Yeah. So for me, it's always like I'm big on it has to just be right.
Of
You know what
course.
I'm saying? It doesn't have to be forced or because we just have to make a song and it has to come out. No, if the song is not the right song to go out, it's not.
Yeah, it's best not to force it. Even if you know someone that's high profile, like if it's not natural to you, then it's not going to work out. Just don't let it be forced.
Exactly.
I hear you. And of course, like with Davido, like you executive produced his album A Good Time, and obviously, there's a lot of recognition for the tracks you did and produced, like Fall, and then also obviously the money with Olamide. And you were opening act for A Good Time tour as well, which unfortunately was cut because of the pandemic that's happened.
Yeah.
Were there plans for you to come to London, not just for like with Davido's tour? Were there any other plans for you to come to London as well?
Yeah, I was actually gonna come to London in June.
Ah,
That was yeah, I was gonna go for the Midem, the panel thing in France, and from there I was gonna come to London.
mm.
That was the plan before the whole pandemic. But definitely after the borders are open and everything is back to normal, I'll
Yeah,
definitely
hundred
pull up.
percent, man. I
Mind
need
the
to
mind
fly,
the
man. I need to fly. I need to get to some international honeys, man, as well, man.
bro. Pull up, come to LA, come to LA.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. You said it. It's on camera. So if I come over and I say I holler your management, I holler you. I say, listen. Let me pull up.
Yes,
Even if
please.
I gotta buy just even from the dollar store or something, I'll get some, some drinks or whatever I can afford, man. So yeah, I've asked. I spoke to Fowles, the bad guy, a few months ago, and I wanted to ask you this as well because you both, similar to both of you, like you've won multiple awards. Like you rack them up in terms of being nominated and winning. Um, what's the award that you're most grateful for being nominated or even winning?
Um, so far, I would say the Headies Award for African Producer of the Year
Nice.
because it came in a time when there was okay in Nigeria there are like two big awards, right?
Mm,
And there's Eddie's and there's Sound City Award,
mm.
right? And at the Sound City Award, something happened, and you know they had told me to come get my award in the hall, and I got to the hall, and then when I got there, they announced somebody else as the winner type of stuff, and then I had my Kanye moment where I went crazy on them. It was a whole news thing for the whole like 2 weeks. It was crazy all over the internet and stuff.
Yeah,
And like 2 months later was the Eddie's Awards. And the question was everybody asking, is Kiddo gonna win this one? Or is he gonna blah blah? And this was the same year I did four. You know what I'm saying? So for
yeah,
me it was like I was like, how will four not win this award? You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And the next award that happened, which was Eddie's, I was nominated again, and then everybody was just waiting to fingers crossed to see if I was gonna win it. They announced and I won the award.
And you actually won it,
So
yeah. So how did you feel
yeah,
when you had your name announced that you actually won the award?
yeah, I felt it was an amazing feeling. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
it was an amazing feeling. I was like, yes, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, it was the fact that I didn't win the last one.
yeah,
I don't take awards personally, right? I don't take them personal.
yeah.
But the fact that I was told to come pick up my word, and I got in the hall, and then something happened, and I'm no longer the winner. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got pissed about that, and I was hoping that the next award wouldn't do stuff like that.
Mm.
That's what happened.
So I mean, obviously, so with awards, then, like, do you feel like the more that you're nominated for, that you're just like, I appreciate it,
Yeah.
but I got a lot more work to do, or do you feel constantly grateful every time that there's an announcement that you're nominated for something?
Yeah, I always tell people don't awards are just like it's good to acknowledge people's effort and work and all that, but never let things like that just get your drive or your motive because
Mm,
these things are uh these things are designed by other human beings like you.
mm,
You get what I'm saying?
of
Make
course.
you to make somebody feel better than the next person or make that might not be the main motive behind it, but
Mm,
that's still what it boils down to. When you give somebody an award over another person that made a creative work, you try and tell people this person did better than that person. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? When it comes to being creative, you should never, never, ever, ever, compare yourself to anybody. Just do your
That's
thing.
true.
You feel me?
Yeah, you should just feel as equal as anybody else, regardless of
So if,
position
if I
or
win, yeah. So if I win an award, if I don't win, I mean, it's all good.
keep it moving, innit?
Keep moving. Yeah.
Straight. And you spent a year in South Africa, and I've been hearing that you developed a sound called South Afrobeats,
Yeah.
which you take elements from South Africa and apply them to Afrobeats. To you,
Yeah.
what would be the main difference between like South Afrobeats and the Afrobeats that we, as most of the world, will be aware of? Like, what's the difference in your opinion?
So the first difference is gonna be the mood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Afrobeat generally, most of Afrobeat songs that, especially out now,
Mm,
are very, energetic, boom, boom, turn up, go crazy. You feel me?
mm,
But South African music, especially the house, the amapiano,
mm,
it has the deep chords. You know what I'm saying? The deep chords that
mm.
kind of set you in the kind of, a kind of relaxed mood. You feel me? And
Mm.
kind of it makes you happy. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's one element of South African music that I really enjoy living in
Mm.
South Africa. I really enjoy it. We'll be at the bars and just have this soulful, deep chords playing on, African drums, and that's what South African music is about.
Mm.
And Nigerian music has the drums and the percussion and turn up part of the music.
Mm.
But when it comes to that soulfulness that deepness, South Africa has that. So I
Okay.
kind of like that together.
Okay, so it's more like the deep. It's almost like if you translate like the classic house, and then you translate that into like say deep house. This is kind of like almost a translation between the Afrobeats and the South Afrobeats.
Exactly. So that blend of that deep house on Afrobeat drums is what
Mm.
South Afrobeat. You feel me? So,
I'm liking the sound of that, man, and that leads me to eWallet. Let's talk about eWallet
yeah,
with Casper Novest.
yeah,
You featured on Apple Music, the Africa Now Radio, which was hosted by Cuppy. We
yeah.
interviewed her a couple of years ago. Really sweet girl as well, man. And obviously, speaking of Cuppy, like, how have you found her success in her career? Because she keeps going from like new deal, new deal. There's a new venture here, new venture there. Like, how do you see her success?
Yes, shout out to Kopi. That's my girl. She's a hard worker. And when you work hard and you're passionate about your stuff,
Mm.
just expect success. And that's what I think she's doing. She's really killing it.
Yeah,
The
she's
world.
definitely killing it, man. And obviously at this point now, like obviously you're putting your stamp on as being an artist. You've had your background in DJing and producing. Is this current moment now? Are you looking towards it being that you're focusing on being the artist as opposed to it being the producer? Is that where you're leaning towards, or are you still going to look to do production credits, or are you focusing more on just being an artist at this stage?
Yeah, it's just I'm never gonna leave being a producer. It's just I just want more out of music than just being behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And I've been behind the scenes all my life. I realized that a lot of people, especially for producers, everybody I looked up to,
Mm,
Timberland, Pharrell, Kanye, Dre, you know, all these people had to come to the front of the scene to really get the respect they deserve. You know what I'm saying?
100.
Because yeah, because imagine they were all behind the scenes their whole lives,
Mm,
they might have not achieved what they've achieved, with the music. You feel me? So and it's not a fame thing. It's not about fame.
mm,
You feel me? It's just you're just maximizing maximizing myself as a musician. I can't just be behind the scenes my whole life, and then music is more than just the music. The brands, you need that. You need people to know. You need your fans to know you. To a good extent. You need to expand. And the best way to expand as a musician is just be in front of the camera. You can't do all that behind the scenes.
and that
So
that that's why you're Kiddominant, man, because you're the kid in the game that's being dominant in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
no, and apart from that, I felt like it was time to evolve.
Yeah.
I've just been doing making beats, making beats, making beats. I just needed something new.
So it's like a new avenue to say like, look, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna get rid of this, but I'm gonna add more to my profile and do this.
exactly, exactly. So I'm still producing other artists, but I'm trying to sing too. I'm trying to. No, I'm not even trying to. I've always been a singer. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I've been a singer, songwriter, and it's just me just expressing another side of the art that I think I have. You feel me?
Mm.
So
And how did the collab with Casper come about with making eWallet, man?
yeah, so I posted on my Instagram that I wanted to make a project with South African artists, which is South Afrobeats project. And Casper was like the first artist that reached out to me, like, yo, bro, let's do it. Let's do it. Shout out to Casper for that.
Yeah, man. Big up to him as well, man. And just to go back to the IG lives a minute, because like I said earlier, like the girls that you had on there, man. Like, firstly, mad crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Just it just made me feel great to be a man. I'll be honest first of all. And
Yeah,
have you heard of Swams from over here in the UK?
yeah. I heard. Like while we're doing the live, I'll see a lot of comments people saying, "Yo, Kiddominant and Swams are doing Kiddominant and Swams." Like, yo, who's the Swams guy? So one
Yeah.
day I checked about. Oh, he's doing the same shoot.
Right.
And
So I
he
got to
got
ask.
to.
I got to ask. Right. So were you? Did you ever see Swam stuff and think like, hmm, let me work on something on IG Live, or did you always have that plan in mind? But it's just coincidence that he's doing some, and then you've had like a kind of similar concept.
The crazy thing was not just me and Swams. It was like at least I knew of at least like 10 people doing the same thing before it actually became everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like that time was like okay, I knew at least like 5 of us that were doing it like at that time. So, but when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is literally the same thing but for a different audience. You feel what
Mm.
I'm saying? I was more for like the African Afrobeat audience. He was doing it for more like the UK audience. Orleans was doing like for like the US audience. So it was all just different people,
Mm.
different audience. You feel me?
I
And you
mean,
know, so the audience want to see different things. They want to talk about different things. So it's not. He's the banter is going to be going on his live. Is going to be different from the ones that's going on our own life.
I mean, obviously, like Takashi 69 did his thing as well. Like, which I think one time when he did that IG live, I think it got to like what 2 million people watching at one go. I thought like, yo, what is this?
Was a record break. Two
Yeah,
million.
mad man. But you know, what I mean, we need a variety of entertainment. So I'm glad that you got onto that, man. And you met Quincy Jones last year.
Yeah. So
How
I
was
met him.
that
I
for
met
you?
him. Yeah, it was amazing. It was like it was. It's one of the moments where you don't believe it's real. It's like I was like, is this my lead? I remember Chris Jones right now for real. You feel me? So it's always been a dream, you know. And shout out to my boy Tiamo. He was one who connected us. He was like, yo, he saw Quincy Jones. Was like, yo, kid of Quincy Jones. I was like, what? And he went to make the introduction. I was like, yo, blah blah Afrobeats producer. He said, oh yeah, let him come. And then
Was
we
there
started talking.
was
He
there
was telling me
any
about how Nelson Mandela, or how he loves Africa. He was telling me about stuff.
Was there any
But it
nuggets
was
that he was there anything that he was speaking to you about that you took away and thought like, yo, I need to really apply that to my repertoire or put that in my thought process?
yeah. He was the main thing he told me that I will never forget. It was like always put the music before the money.
Mm.
Yeah, so he told me that like always put the music before the money. Never let the business get into your head and you start, you know, losing that raw feeling you have. That's
Mad
that's a
man.
very
Mad.
yeah
That's a good thing to take away because then you don't want to put money as above everything. You want to put the craft in first before anything.
yeah.
I hear that. So I mean, normally I would say like what's happening for you next because I mean obviously lockdown has lifted a lot and obviously things are semi going back to normal, but what are you looking towards now like for the rest of the year in 2021, like what are you looking to do next?
For the rest of the year, hopefully things start to open up better. I really want to drop. I'm about to drop my project. I'm dropping the video to eWallet soon,
Mm-hmm.
Casper, and after that, I'm gonna drop two more singles and drop my project.
Okay,
So,
so you got a few set
so
projects that you got in the pipeline already.
yeah, I've actually have a lot of music just sitting in my laptop that needs to get out.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you know, being a producer transition into an artist, the pandemic might just be a blessing for me to just do this, nicely. Because
Yeah.
now that I'm like rushed to go to Africa to go do interviews and all of that, I can do all that from here right now. You feel me?
Okay. All right. Well, sounds like there's a lot going for you, man, and I can't wait to see what happens going forward, man. Before I let you go, I'm a bit of a Twitter stalker when it comes to artists.
You be a what?
I'm a Twitter stalker.
Oh, okay.
So I do this with everybody. Don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah.
So basically, I've come across your Twitter and I've seen, some tweets that you put out there, and I just wanted to get a little bit of elaboration of what you mean, and just to, put it out there and have some fun, man. Um,
Uh,
okay, so the first one that came to mind is, it's times like this you appreciate and understand the value of party jollof rice.
Yo, okay, no. Have you ever had jollof rice?
Of, of course, I have. My mum used to date someone who was African, and I've tasted plenty of jollof rice. I love it.
Okay, so now in Nigeria, there's different type of jollof rice,
Right.
right? So there's normal jollof rice you make at home, right? And there's the one when you go to the party, when you go to like a wedding or a birthday. It's like a big celebration with everybody in African attire and stuff.
Mm.
And the rice they make there is there's something about the rice at the party that's always different from the rice you make at home. I don't know how to do it, but it's always different.
Yeah.
It tastes so good and it tastes better. You see what I'm saying?
And
So
I keep hearing about this thing of, like, this ongoing debate of Ghanaian and Nigerian jollof rice. Like,
yeah,
I know you're gonna stick to Nigerian jollof rice.
of course,
Um,
Nigeria is the best jollof rice in the world.
have
No
you
cap.
tasted Ghanaian jollof rice as well?
I've tasted it.
And you just think that the Nigerian is better, and not being biased.
Yeah, I'm not even being biased. I'm saying right. Nigerian food tastes better. Nigerian jollof tastes better than Ghanaian jollof.
Okay, okay. Well, you heard it here first.
You can try
Next,
it.
um, next one is, she done bust my eyeglass.
Oh, that's a line from a new artist called Omale in Nigeria. He's hot right now, and he has a song called "Bad Influence."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so don't put eyeglasses like a line from the verse of the song.
Okay. We'll look into that, man. Next one. It's simple. Any police officer that kills an unharmed man should be charged with murder. I'm assuming that's
Yeah,
in relevance to what's been going on recently with George Floyd and then BLM. I just wanted to get your views on it, roughly, in terms of how you've been seeing it all as a black man yourself.
yeah. So like I said, it's very simple. If you're a policeman and you're trying to arrest someone, they don't have a gun on them, they don't have anything to harm you. There's no reason why you should take their life for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
There's no reason you shouldn't even. It's not just George Floyd. The other guy that was shot from a distance, he was
mm,
running away.
mm.
There's no reason why you should do that. He was not trying to kill you. He was not trying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that.
Mm. Okay.
So it's never
Uh,
that serious.
Yeah. Two more. Because I saw a picture of a guy in Davido, and he looked like they came from Athens, like the Greek gods and stuff like that. And what made me laugh was when you replied it with Ronaldo and Messi.
Um, wait. It was David and Whiskey, right?
I'm not sure. I know Davido was. Davido was. I'm not sure who the guy
Yeah.
was that he was standing next to. But you literally replied to Ronaldo and Messi, and I wasn't sure what you meant by that, unless it was like
That
underlying
that was
thing.
David. That was David and Whiskey. Some guy
Ah.
made like art with them in the picture, and I was like, yeah, this David and Whiskey is like Ronaldo and Messi in football. You know?
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. So who's Ronaldo and who's Messi in the situation?
I would say I would say David and Messi.
Oh wow, okay. So you're calling Whiskey Ronaldo then?
No,
Um,
David um with Ronaldo.
did they reply to that? Did they reply to your statement of Ronaldo and
Nah,
Messi?
David's always hitting me up on his stuff like that. He's like, yo, what you tweeting, nigga? Yeah.
Oh shit, man. Final one. Situations like this is why it's key to own your masters. Artists that only make money off shows are fucked right now till this COVID shit is over. Which obviously, yeah, we're in a mad time right now.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming based on that statement that you own all your own masters.
all of my masters, man.
Yeah.
I don't play that. The business side of things, I take it super seriously. You
Yeah.
feel me? So yeah, so for artists who own their masters, who have owned their publishing and all that stuff, this is a good time for them because I mean it's not a good time for them, but they they wouldn't be as stuck as artists who don't own nothing, who
Mm.
just depend on show money. You feel me? So
Yeah.
the artists who depend on show money, they'll tell you right now, they're all going crazy at home. Like,
Mm.
there's no money coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
so
Like,
so, as long, so if they keep their masters, then they're always going to be intact with having some sort of money coming in, even through this mad time.
especially if you're independent and you're not signed to a label,
Mm.
you get your money directly. As long as people are streaming and buying your music,
Mm.
you're still making your money.
Then you're good, man. And I can see with the swag, man. Like you look like you still got your peas rolling in, man. You know what I'm saying? So you look like you're good. You know.
So you always have to have it. Always.
Always, man. Well, Kiddominant, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks for joining me in that. I know you're in the studio working hard, so I know you got more famous shit to do, so I ain't gonna hold you up much longer, man. If you can tell our audience where they can catch you on all the socials, tell them right here, my man.
Yeah, you guys can check me out at Kiddominant on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, same thing. Snapchat, the same thing. KIDDOMINANT. Yep.
Yeah. So this kid is dominant. He's killing it. You know what I mean? Like he's killing the South Afrobeat scene. So make sure you keep checking on him because he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And it keeps on going with the IG lives. You better be locked in. You better be locked in because he's got some entertaining shit for y'all. You know. All right. So this is J Billz, Media Spotlight UK, Kiddominant, killing it on the scene, soon to be a force to be further reckoned with, and we out of here. Peace.
Yeah, sure.